Hello and a very good evening. Welcome to the first, as Shane said, 3-person edition of the Dugout. First time it's happened in a fortnight, and we're
First time this year, 2020.
And first time this year.
Yeah.
Notwithstanding the remote one, which had 3
Yeah.
people joining. But first time it's 3 people in studio.
Yeah, and we're ever so elated. I hope you guys also are happy to see all faces around. There's only one missing, but soon enough that face will also re-emerge.
When will he re-emerge?
The same
first
way that
ODI.
Virat and Rohit will re-emerge into international cricket.
Ah. Wow.
Grand return.
Grand return. We're waiting for some. Obviously, that's good. He gets us mithai. He treats us well on his return, but we're also waiting for his stories. Man's always got good stories. So do we. We have stories, some of which make it to our YouTube channel, some which we just end up discussing off camera as we were for the last 30 minutes. We heard about a new mystery spinner.
Yeah, we had a match today. Terrible performance by our team. We found that's when you realize how tough it must be to face Varun Chakravarti. When you've got Varun Chakravarti light, you're struggling. Imagine Varun Chakravarti, how tough it would be.
He was good enough to be qualified as Varun Chakravarti light.
No, I meant, what
As
would
a
you
mystery
call
spinner
it?
sort of a thing. Because he was bowling, he had a
Mendes
Sunil
light,
Narayan
call him
action
anyone.
also.
Uh-huh.
There was everything coming. And then in the middle, he's bowling leg breaks like Shane Warne. And I'm
Ah.
like, jeez, what is this guy? He can't, like, what is it that he can't do? 5 variations which I clocked.
Yeah.
I don't know, and I was just watching it on a
Yeah.
very one-cam live stream, by the way. So I could clock 5. I do not want to think what these guys are going through in the
Don't
middle.
When I saw that stream, and so many of you guys were already watching when I came.
Yeah, it was the most entertaining part of
Yeah,
the day.
I know. And one thing that came to my mind. Remember, we can have these matches be on the screen, but not VST matches at times. We
Exactly.
cannot have Duleep Trophy
Today
matches.
our local match in a local ground in Noida.
That's the thought that
between
crossed
two
my
local
mind.
teams was being telecast live.
And
If
you know how
just
many people
because-
were watching? One. We were the only people watching that.
That's
match.
why I'm
but
saying-
still, it was still being telecast.
Exactly. That's what matters. See, there were 10 viewers on one screen. There were 10 viewers on one screen. And this is when a team representing us, and that was our interest point, right?
Yeah.
We don't just watch
You
any
saw
random.
it from the start. You saw the
No,
hammering also.
I didn't see the first innings, and I remember, I think it was one of our team guys, Arun. He's like, this is the target. I was like, what? Then I said, okay, the batting started. Let's just watch, let's see. It became such a thing among the sports team that the research team behind us got interested. Like, ये किसका मैच चल रहा है? Whose match is going? They're also getting interested. We're like, आप देखो ना, चलो देखो तो. ये विक्रांत सर है. हाँ, अरे आओ यार.
It gets better where these guys are watching. I'd come that time and I saw them already watch. I was just still meeting people. So I went to the third row in that alley as well. I see there's somebody watching on the phone. Oh, why watching here? There's a proper broadcast.
Broadcast is happening with live comms and everything. Come on.
So there was interest. So that, see, if for
You could hear the commentary as well.
Yeah, and we were also doing our own commentary.
which was funnier.
I'm
Obviously.
sure.
Yeah, but
Enough of that game. I don't want to remember it. Quite a horrible game. Let's get to the pressing issue at hand, and that is the Bangladesh saga continues. Apparently, there has been a bit of communication between the two boards. So Harshit is a very important employee of India today. He will tell us what is it that
He'll prove his importance tonight at 11 o'clock.
what is it that your channel is running? What is the latest news? What is the big headline it's being run?
see, what's being fed to us at the moment is that the ICC has turned down the request of the BCB of wanting to move out of India, its matches. And that, of course, the letter was true, everything. We broke all that information down. The matter reached the corridors of the ICC, read it, etc., etc. And now they've decided, no, this cannot happen. That request has already been junked as far as the ICC are concerned.
So
No
ICC
official, nothing official though.
You are
This
saying
is-
certain reports
yeah,
that you are
what's
reporting.
what's being filtered into our system at the moment, from what I gather in that
newsroom.
octopus that we have, came this pop-up verified RFA.
So you are saying basically there's one bit of reporting that is happening, which is saying that ICC has turned down Bangladesh Cricket Board's request.
Rescinded.
They've said either play or say Tata bye-bye. Is that what?
No, not yet. That was not the communication, but the communication for now, or the input that I sort of have an understanding of, is that request has been turned down. And you could again, what else has also
Are you
been mentioned?
confirming that?
No, I'm not confirming.
You're
that.
not.
I'm not confirming.
You're going based on what sources have told.
Sources have said, and again, as has been the ICC norm, I don't look at this as some breaking news or anything. This has just been the norm, convention in our game always, that if a team has had any problems, ICC has maintained in this instance as well, that you don't play, you forfeit points. Simple as that.
Have they though? Champions Trophy.
So there was soon after this report came out that ICC has said no question of shifting of matches outside India, and either you play or you forfeit your matches. This was the initial report. Soon after that, and while Harshit is not confirming that bit of news, that is through sources, soon after that there was an official press release that the Bangladesh Cricket Board sent out. That is on record, so that is official. What has the release said?
So they saw those reports and said, hold my mishti doi. So we're telling you what really
love
happened.
mishti doi.
I love it. Favorite thing ever. And they said, no, this is what it is. We had constructive conversations with the ICC, and they said that, we want the Bangladesh team to be there. And then they very specifically take out time and say that there are certain media reports doing the rounds stating that an ultimatum has been issued. We wish to categorically deny this, say that no such ultimatum has been issued. So what they're saying is, no, we haven't been told forfeit or go home. Simple as. There's still discussions going on.
So Bangladesh Cricket Board has made it very clear this is false reporting.
Fake news.
Fake news. They have said it.
Yeah, that's their claim.
Now you can, again, many people can see it in different ways. Some sources that may have given or fed this information to Harshit may say that, what else do you expect the Bangladesh board to say? They will definitely say things which are contrary to that. Others will say that, listen, Bangladesh board has officially put a release out and they've said it in as many words denying it. What you are claiming from the ICC standpoint, they've not even issued any statement or any sort of press conference has happened or nothing. So there is nothing concrete that has happened from ICC's point of view, whereas Bangladesh Cricket Board in that sense have put it on record. It's there for everyone.
I must add one thing, the word ultimatum in whatever I could gather was not mentioned.
Yeah, but they've been told that nothing doing.
Yeah.
You will have to play in India. That is pretty much the kind of reportage that's happened. Yeah. So, from what I have picked up, because there were certain people that, I saw this report where they said that there was a meeting that happened between Bangladesh Cricket Board and ICC, an informal meeting, and all this was discussed. So there is no official, because I asked sources, that if you are claiming that Bangladesh Cricket Board has been told by ICC, then where is the written email where they've told them that? So I was told, no, there was no written email. It's all been verbally communicated to them because the meeting was verbally.
Remote, basically.
Yes, yeah. But now what I have picked up, and this does not come from either ICC sources, this does not come from either Bangladesh Cricket Board sources, this comes from neutral sources, people in the know of things, okay? How the chain of events has happened, how I know is that Bangladesh Cricket Board wrote to the ICC expressing their inability to play their matches at the T20 World Cup in India because of security threat to their players. They wrote. I believe that last night ICC has written back to them saying that they have taken They have firstly received that email, they've taken note of their demand, but they want more clarity on that. They also want Bangladesh Cricket Board to, not take any decision in haste.
Yeah.
They have said that, listen, Bangladesh is very important for this entire tournament. Let's continue to have a conversation and let's find a way out where they don't get or they can avoid shifting matches last moment and also be able to serve the purpose of Bangladesh Cricket Board and their concerns about security threat. Now there has been another development that's happened after that, which I'm sharing with you guys, and that's why we were late to start the dugout as well.
You can't share that.
Not that, but before I even came into this tour. So there has been a conversation that has happened after the Bangladesh Cricket Board received that email from ICC. Bangladesh Cricket Board has gone back to its government and asked them, is there any leeway to negotiate? What is a counter offer that we can give them? Or do we stick with what we're saying? How can we find a common ground? Because that is what ICC is asking. So the latest is that the Bangladesh government has told Bangladesh Cricket Board, there is no stepping back. We're not going to in any way dilute our demands. Our demands are that we will not play in India because there is a security concern. And this is the latest. So now Bangladesh Cricket Board's position is going to be clear because they are going to have conversations with ICC going forward. And ICC also, remember, they're a neutral body. It's a democratic setup that is run by, ICC is what? It's not run by one person. You can't take one decision. A CEO cannot take decisions. A chairman cannot take decisions. These are decisions that have to be taken by the executive committee that's made up of multiple members of board. So you got to understand. So before this issue is brought up in front of that executive committee that includes representative from all permanent member nations, the ICC wants to know what is the limit of the demands that Bangladesh has. Is there any way that there are other options that they will have? Is there any way that they can have a counter offer? And I think now they have been told by the Bangladesh Cricket Board, no counter offers, no wriggle room, nothing. It is what it is, and we will not play in India. Now this will go back to the ICC, and then they take a decision. So I find it very hard to believe that ICC has given Bangladesh Cricket Board an ultimatum.
In fact, what your neutral sources say kind of lines up a little bit more with the Bangladesh press release. It does. Because basis what they are saying, they obviously, with these releases, you kind of have to read between the lines a little bit. But what they're saying is that they said the ICC has reiterated its commitment to ensuring the full and uninterrupted participation, conveyed willingness to work closely. All of that says that this is something that's still in discussion. Yes. There is no concrete decision that has been taken.
Yes, and that's why I said they asked Bangladesh Cricket Board to check with their government as to are there any riders, how can it be done? And now the latest is, which has just happened about 1 hour, half hour ago, is that the Bangladesh government has told Bangladesh Cricket Board, no, nothing. We've said what we wanted and we're not going to step back from it. Now the ICC will have to deliberate. And then that brings me to the other question. Now that we know what the situation is on ground, that Bangladesh board was asked to reconsider and look for some other options. They have gone back and said, no, nothing doing. Our government has said, no, we're not changing it. Now the ball is in ICC's court and they will have to now, all members will have to sit together and come to a common consensus. What do you think are the options with the ICC? Is it too late for them to shift venues? Can the ICC tell Bangladesh, thank you very much, we'll go ahead and have the tournament without you? Will the ICC make an exception and allow Bangladesh their demand? What does the future hold, according to you?
I think the ICC definitely will need a lot of time on this. They don't have a lot of time. They'll need easily about a couple of days to sort things out because they're not the only stakeholders here, remember.
But in a couple of days, what do you think will they be able to do?
See, firstly, you need to have the broadcaster on board with this as well. Because these things, again, you've got only 2 stadiums, I believe, in Sri Lanka that are hosting matches. India, they were supposed to be playing at multiple venues. If you're taking all matches, group stage matches over there, then can the pitches be ready? You need to bring the curator in. Broadcaster, does the broadcaster have the resources? On the same dates, is it even possible? There's just too many combinations and too many permutation combinations you need to
what do you see happening?
Take into consideration. While the ICC has every right to take its time on this, and as has been communicated to the Bangladesh Cricket Board, which they're happy about, the consultation is still on. and they're expecting ICC to come to their rescue. The ICC has to do its due of, if there's a board, a grief board coming to you, you do take things into cognizance, and that's what it must be doing right now, thinking, because it's, the higher ups at the ICC know very well what's happening on Indian turf. They know that the sentiment really is against an entire nation because of the tensions and because of the political reasons that we all know of. So if there is there a safety issue? Perhaps there is. You cannot negate that. And now it's been said by a government formally, now it's also been said by the board also. So the ICC is in a bit of a precarious situation at the moment. It sadly enough doesn't have the time to really make things work quickly, because you also then need Sri Lankan cricket board as well. You also have, there are ticket sales that have already happened. So there's just too much that you need to take care of at the moment. I have a feeling you don't necessarily have the time to reschedule all the matches. The ship perhaps has sailed.
So what is going to happen? Bangladesh will then be kicked out of the tournament?
They may not be kicked out. I'm just going by convention. If Bangladesh choose to, and that of course by extension will mean if they don't show up.
It's at loggerhead. You are saying ICC doesn't have enough time, so they say we can't change venues. Bangladesh says we're not playing in India. What do you think is going to happen? What do you think will be the end result?
Well, we've seen in the past as well, there are teams that have decided not to play a certain opponent. ICC's rule is simple: if you aren't, then you forfeit points.
So it'll be Bangladesh out of the tournament, because
because
case,
they
have all 5 games.
Exactly.
So Bangladesh out of the tournament is what you think? Okay,
no, I think they'll have to step back. They'll have to take a step back for 2 reasons.
Who,
One,
Bangladesh or ICC?
the ICC.
ICC. Okay.
Yeah, for 2 reasons. One is because, much as we might say that Bangladesh aren't a major player in the cricketing arena and stuff like that, which is true. They're not like, you could remove their existence from the sport of cricket and it wouldn't really change any historic moments short of knocking India out of the 2007 World Cup. But aside from that, what they do also bring is a very passionate, loud fan base. That passionate, loud fan base in a sport that is anyway nowadays fighting for whatever fan base you can get, can you afford to let that fan base go? I am not so sure you can, which means you'll have to acquiesce. Number 2, and this is perhaps the more important thing, the ICC don't have any leg to stand on when it comes to denying. When India asked for the hybrid model, they said security concerns. That's what our government has told us. At that point in time, even they eventually acquiesced. When Pakistan said security concerns, lest we forget, this is the same Pakistan team that said the security concerns thing less than about a little over a year after they had been in India anyway for 2023. They played all their World Cup games in India and there were no security problems, whether it be with fringe elements or whether it be with general fans. In fact, I remember the reception they got
Hyderabad.
from fans. It was very, very positive. Very, very positive for the most part. Now, are you going to tell Bangladesh that no, there's no real security threat? Sorry, boss. Can you afford to do that? I don't think you can.
The only reason I am not viewing the same situation or the situation in the same manner is because those things happened in a timely manner, in the sense that you were talking about these things or tensions, whatever, or India communicating to ICC, listen, we're not going, didn't happen a month before the tournament. It had happened well in advance. So you knew that, okay, hybrid model, for good 6 months there was conversation. Najam Sethi was there, and by the time the tournament happened, somebody else came over. You had enough time to be able to navigate through the situation.
Yeah,
at the moment,
if I remember, the PCB did not relent till the very end.
That's fine. I'm just saying that the seed was planted 6, 8, 10 months. That stance was very clear. At the moment, it's sort of knee jerk. It's just last minute. It's the 11th hour thing, and which is where this is a logistical hurdle now.
That's
for
fair,
the ICC.
but then the BCB will also rightly point out and say that the knee jerk didn't start with us.
That's fine. Exactly. I
They can
totally
say that.
See, I mean, to your point, Harshit, of is it too late? Let me give you an example. I was in Sri Lanka for the Asia Cup, and matches were in Kandy and it was raining, and last moment, and Colombo was raining. To save the Asia Cup, this decided to bring in a whole new venue, which wasn't even marked in the list of venues. people said Dambulla will be that and various other.
Colombo.
No, Colombo was the
Colombo was in the final.
yeah.
So they came up with alternate venues. That's another thing. They took a risk, came to Colombo, and then the matches did happen without too much because the rain forecast improved. But my point is the organizers were getting ready, so you could do that with a notice of 5 days as well, changing of venues, right? It's not that those grounds aren't available. Secondly, if you do make those changes, I'm talking about logistically, you don't have to. Maybe certain matches that were due to be held in Sri Lanka will then be given to India on those same venues.
Quid pro quo.
Yeah.
Right?
So I'm not saying suddenly you give Sri Lanka extra matches and Indian matches are reduced. I'm sure wiser people can put their heads down if they need to fix this. And then you talk about. I agree that a lot of these issues that happened with Pakistan and India were told slightly more in advance than it is now. But then Bangladesh can always argue that this was a developing situation. What do you do if the security threat has come up now? Especially after Mustafizu is gone now, maybe there will be anti-India sentiments because you had religious groups in India, political groups in India saying that that's why we fear for the players. So it's a developing situation. We can only tell you when we feel there is a threat. That's the other argument they can put. Now to the point of what is it that ICC can do. And in that I agree with Shane. See, ideally, what should be the case? Ideally, the case should be nobody is bigger than the game. Nobody is bigger than the organization. If you don't want to play, sorry, forfeit your games, done and dusted. Yes, if there is a problem in that venue per se and ICC decides to shift the entire tournament out of that country, that's another matter. Like it happened, 2008 Champions Trophy to be held in Pakistan and those attacks happened and they really moved the entire tournament. That's fine. But if ICC once decide XYZ place is good enough, both in terms of security and everything else, and they're going ahead with it, then I agree. The logical thing is matches are happening here, game is bigger, ICC is bigger than every other country. Play, if you can't play, forfeit your games. I agree with that. Olympics had, there were 1980 about 50 odd countries, I can't tell you how many countries boycotted the Moscow Olympics. Moscow Olympics happened. The Olympics after that, 84, 30 odd countries boycotted. LA happened. My point is that's the whole thing. No, people didn't like Qatar when they got the thing. Many countries were ready to boycott it. There was too much hangama. FIFA said, no boss, we've given it. This is the World Cup. You come and play. On that count, I agree. But now once you make an exception, and you made that exception for India, and then you made that exception for Pakistan, Bangladesh will say, boss, this is not. For those country and those players, security is a concern, so you don't travel, and you create a hybrid model, you will have to do it. And that's why I say the problem is not today's. The problem is when you first agreed to that hybrid model for any country, you shouldn't have. Once you open the door, then you let the floodgates open and then
I
then
agree
you can't
with you guys
control
totally. See,
anything.
Principally, I agree with you that yes, if you make an exception for India, they may have financial muscle and this and that, whatever, but they're a team at the end of the day. And Bangladesh are an equal team.
No, that's what I'm saying. You said, Bangladesh is not big and India. See, what I'm saying is, look at the ICC model.
No, I never
it's
said
democratic.
that.
No, we are saying, Bangladesh is not as big a team. Shane said maybe you can go ahead in a tournament. Many might say a smaller team, you can go ahead with a tournament.
No, you can't.
Cricketing, stature-wise, they may not be good.
Yeah,
but what you forget is that when the ICC takes a decision, they have an equal amount of say in that as much as an India does or a Pakistan does or whatever. See, again, I'll give you an example. A lot of our media also at that time said when Pakistan were threatening, they said, who is Pakistan? India is India. India is so powerful, 80% revenue comes from India. ICC will have to make an exception, they won't do it for Pakistan. But Pakistan doesn't, but eventually they had to, They had to. See, you also got to remember, and that's why I say, ICC will, once you've opened the floodgates, that's one thing. So how do you justify that for other teams I'm doing it and not for this? Don't forget the other thing. If, let's say, it becomes a clash, a direct clash, where ICC is not moving, no, play or out, we'll have a tournament without you, we'll replace you with another team. And you can think of having a tournament without Bangladesh, don't forget, then it becomes political. Who knows who comes to whose support? Tomorrow, Pakistan, see, this is a vote bank
I think
politics.
This has already become that because...
If Bangladesh pulls Pakistan, because when the whole Asia Cup fiasco was happening, Bangladesh was standing by Pakistan. You remember the meeting was to happen there. India refused to go. Bangladesh Cricket Board had that meeting. Pakistan went and travelled. Mohsin Naqvi chaired that meeting. So there are cliques, right? There are now groups. I'm saying then those become votes. Tomorrow to give support to some other country, and anyway, you know, Pakistan's also been having a tough time with India in cricketing matters, you know, that whole thing. They might see it as a good opportunity to exert pressure on ICC. They've felt aggrieved with whatever ICC has done in the past. They might say, okay, so it won't then be one tournament without Bangladesh. What if Pakistan threatened to? Now you'll say, okay, we'll have a tournament without Pakistan. Then you know that whole India-Pakistan game. Yeah. Then you are looking at a split in the cricketing world. Yeah, and I don't think ICC can afford to do that now after what they've done and extended that courtesy to. And I'm being very realistic. Ideally, I would want, you know,
Same
and I've said it, I've said it in the past that India were right not to have Mustafizur in IPL. I, as an Indian, would have found it quite a mismatch and quite awkward that at one point there have been attacks on minorities and Mustafizur is playing in your domestic setup and Indian fans are cheering for him. There would have been a mismatch. So I backed that step for them. But then that has now snowballed into this. And if I'm going to be fair, and the fair thing then would be you allow Bangladesh that courtesy to play their games in Sri Lanka, and that's only fair. And you have no bargain.
That's, I think, the fundamental aspect of it. But from pragmatism, if you have to look at it, what in your experience plays out from here? Do you think realistically it's possible? It's exactly a month away now, the tournament.
What do you think is more realistic? You, in 1 month's time, finding another venue and shifting matches, or you having a tournament minus Bangladesh and possibly 1 or 2 teams standing by Bangladesh? What is more realistic?
Finding a venue any single day of the week. Any single day of the week. This is cricket. This is the great adjustment sport. It's a sport that for years has always bent to the whims and fancies of the powerful.
Yeah.
It always has.
It's not FIFA. It's not international.
It's not FIFA. It's not IOC. It's not even bigger sports like, say, I would not say motorsports because there also commercial interests come into play. But even there, the commercial interests are the same for all. So even the smallest of teams will get the same interest that the bigger teams.
I'll give an example. There was, I was there at the Asia Cup. There was one area where Pakistan filmed that entire thing in an area where they weren't supposed to be filming. That was a
match referee.
Clear violation of ICC rules. There was a scenario where a match got delayed by 1 hour.
Yes.
Right? Clear
violation.
Right? You had the whole tournament at ransom. You tell me any country can do that with a FIFA or an international.
No chance.
Been kicked out straight away.
So I am saying if ICC was that powerful and followed everything to the T, then has any action been taken against Pakistan for doing those 2 violations?
None.
Nothing. So how will you now deal with Bangladesh? And what are you going to say? Either you be so powerful, that game is above everyone, we are above everyone. You've not done that. The last few years, you have always been in a compromise formula, allowing everyone, keep everyone happy.
The adjustments.
How will that happen? ICC, in that sense, I know Asian Cricket Council is different from ICC, but the countries that were participating in that Asian Cricket Council were all coming under the edges of ICC. ICC match referees are there. ICC conducted the hearings of the player. ICC did the meeting to sort the trophy issue out. Has it happened? No. That means ICC does not have the power to do that. So where will they suddenly get the power to now tell Bangladesh? No.
They don't.
You be the FIFA or IOC. If you were like that, you would do it. Unfortunately, they've not shown
when is the last time you remember any form of political protests happening in the Olympics? It's a very famous example. I'm sure you remember.
Yeah, the
Black Lives Matter.
Yeah.
Hey,
no,
Black Power.
Black Power.
Salute,
Yeah.
Black Lives Matter is a very contemporary thing. But that was the last.
Yeah.
After that, the IOC said nothing political, nothing doing whatsoever. You do it and you're out. You'll never see a political protest happening in FIFA because FIFA rules make it clear. I remember in 2017 when India was hosting the World Cup, there was a lot of chatter coming from American social media, I don't remember, saying that, oh, this, the Black Lives Matter movement is catching up. Why don't some of our American players take the knee? I said, are you kidding me? FIFA will kick them out with no hesitation. There's not a chance they can do it. Why? Because they rule with an iron fist. Every single member is treated equally. It doesn't matter. Tomorrow, if Brazil flout the norms, Brazil will be kicked out. 5-time champions be damned. But cricket runs differently. It's always been governed by... That's the sad reality.
Another update on Bangladesh is the ICC has rejected.
Is this for real? No, this is...
And where has this come? Anirban has sent a thing. So he says, well, that's what I said, no? Bangladesh Cricket Board is standing firm on its decision not to participate in the T20 World Cup in India, which is why I said they just had a meeting with the board reiterated this stance at another round of meeting on Wednesday today with the interim government's youth, and this I know. Emphasize that Bangladesh wants to play the World Cup but not at the cost of national humiliation. We certainly want to play in the World Cup. The BCB has received a letter from ICC, but Nazrul believes they haven't comprehended the serious security issues in India. We have received the ICC and it seems they have not been able to comprehend the serious security issues that have arisen in India. This is not a security issue but also an issue of national humiliation. BCB President Aminul Islam Bulbul stated that Bangladesh is firm on its decision and will send another letter to ICC today or tomorrow. The ICC reportedly rejected... That was the previous thing that I said. So this is... What he's just sent is what I had told you 10 minutes ago. That the Bangladesh Cricket Board had a meeting.
But what this also gives a sense is that initial request has possibly been turned down.
No, neither
because I find one thing very interesting in this particular communication that's come out, that for the first time national humiliation is being mentioned.
Yeah, no. So
earlier it was projected as just a security issue. That's fine, and ICC is bound to take note if there's a nation not feeling safe for reasons that we all know of.
Yeah.
Then you've peppered this with something now that has another context to it, which is the IPL context now. National humiliation, I don't know how much that echoes in the ICC corridors. Safety definitely should. But they're just trying to change. Again, we all know that it stemmed from the IPL. It was given a different covering altogether. And now for the first time you see from Bangladesh Cricket Board, the word national humiliation being used.
I have sent you a couple of sound bites. Did you get that, Pawan? So we'll try and
play that out.
Play that out. This is the Bangladesh board president talking. So they've said this only, that they have told that's what I said. ICC wrote back to them saying that, listen, is there any way that a solution can be found? Can you look at some other options? Is it that important security? We will provide you with adequate amount of security. Your players will not be under any issue. We guarantee that. We have a robust system. All these things they had written to them. They have not given them an ultimatum that either play or don't know. So ICC also tried to resolve the issue that, what can we do? How can we help you? We'll give you all security possible. Don't worry. Come. This is what they had written to them. So this thing that ICC sent them, the Bangladesh Cricket Board, which I told you I got to know, took to the government. This is what they're saying. The government has said it's not just about you providing us security. It's a case of humiliation and things like that. And we don't trust your security or whatever. So they have said no. We don't need any of your help or your suggestions or any mediation that you're trying to do. ICC is not given them ultimate. It's just mediation. They've said, no, we are not coming. This is it.
But if the ICC would actually reject it, hypothetically, then are Bangladesh really going to stick to this? But looks of it, they look like this.
If the government is involved, then they do.
Because the government is involved.
Yeah, if it was just the board, possibly there was room, but now the government's involved.
That is why I gave you the scenario. It is going to, the only option is ICC backtracks because Bangladesh is not going to. The government is involved. No. So ICC says, okay, we made exceptions for 2 other countries, we'll make it for you. Tournament goes ahead. Or ICC also sticks to its gun, says no, we'll have a tournament without Bangladesh. But then you're looking at other repercussions from there on. You don't know where it's going to go.
Yeah.
And so I think the easiest thing for a ICC to do now, as I said, would be to reschedule Bangladesh's matches, get some matches to India from Sri Lanka. That is a thing which you have control over, and it will not snowball into it. As soon as you become stubborn, saying tournament without you, you don't know how many other countries get involved.
In fact,
and that can get messy.
Just to give you an example, I was reading somewhere that the PSL's official X account, on Twitter account, has apparently promised that next year Mustafizur will be playing in the PSL.
That's what
Never
I'm
mind
saying.
the fact that the auction is yet to even take place.
That's what my point is. It gets into that territory. And then let's not forget, there are also associate nations that have a few representatives. There was a time, I think there was a bit of a debate happening, and in that, I believe the UAE board also sided with Bangladesh and Pakistan and that bloc in the Asian Cricket Council. They're also members of the ICC. I'm just saying, you could get more countries on your side. They may get less country, but you're still looking at a scenario where they could be
Cricketing
a
civil
split.
war.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, let's listen to the BCB president. We have this soundbite coming fresh.
খেলোয়াড়দের দেখা কিন্তু খেলোয়াড়ের বাইরে যে বড় একটা জনগোষ্ঠী আছে, আমাদের সাংবাদিকরা আছেন, আমাদের ক্রিকেট স্পন্সররা আছেন, আমাদের ক্রিকেটের লাভাররা আছেন, অনেক খেলা দেখতে যাবে, সমস্ত সিকিউরিটি তো ক্রিকেট বোর্ডের পক্ষে দেওয়া বা জিজ্ঞেস করা সম্ভব নয়। এই জন্য আমি সরকারের নির্দেশনা নিচ্ছি, কারণ আপনারা জানেন যে আমাদের যে কোনো বিদেশ ট্রিপে যাওয়ার সময় আমাদের গভর্নমেন্ট অর্ডার লাগে। সেই অর্ডারটার পজিশনটা আমরা জানতে এসেছিলাম, আমরা জেনে দিয়েছি যে আমরা সকলে একসাথে এই সেফটি এবং সিকিউরিটি যদি একটু না করে আমরা এই বিশ্বকাপে আমরা ফাইট করে যাব ফর আওয়ার রাইটস।
Just pause this for a second.
We'll
Just
fight for our
so that
rights.
viewers, they know what he said is two very interesting things that he's pointing out. One, he said that the security that ICC is saying they will give our players, you must remember, it's not just our players. We have officials that travel, we have sponsors that travel, we have other people that also travel. So we are worried about security of a lot of people that will go there. And then he also goes on to say that it's just not about security, it is also about our country and our country's pride and things like that. So he's just making things very clear in terms of the reassurance, because as I said, the previous email from ICC was reassuring them that don't worry, we'll give you all possible security, we have a very good system. This and I said, no, it's not just limited to our team, there are many other issues at hand. Yes, more.
সম্পূর্ণ না, এটা তো আমরা তো একটা ভ্যালিড রিজন নিয়ে কথা বলছি বা আমরা রেস করছি। আমরা তো এতগুলো বিশ্বকাপ খেলেছি, কখনো এই ধরনের কথা বলিনি। আমাদের কাছে মনে হচ্ছে তাই আমরা এটা রেস করেছি স্ট্রংলি।
আইসিসি যদি বলে যে না আপনাদের এখানে খেলতে হবে, তখন আপনারা আপনার সিদ্ধান্ত পরিবর্তন করবেন কিনা?
না, আইসিসি আমরা বোঝাবো, আমাদের মন্ত্রী মহোদয় যেভাবে বলে গেলেন আমরা বোঝাবো। কেন দেখেন, পূর্বেও কিন্তু সিকিউরিটির কারণে বিভিন্ন এই ধরনের ইভেন্ট হয়েছে, এবং আপনারা জানেন যে হাইব্রিড বিশ্বকাপ যে হচ্ছে সেটার মূল কারণটাই কিন্তু সিকিউরিটি। তো আমরা আশা করছি যে আমরা যে আমাদের রিজনগুলো আছে সেগুলো আমরা এস্টাবলিশ করতে পারবো।
অন্য আরো দেশ খেলতে যাবে, তো তাদের নিরাপত্তার বিষয়টিও চলে আসবে নিশ্চয়। তারা যদি কমপ্লেন না করে, আমাদের কমপ্লেনটা টিকবে কিনা, আপনি কি মনে করছেন?
আমরা তো ভ্যালিড রিজন নিয়ে কথা বলছি। দেখেছি যে মুস্তাফিজ যেমন একটা খেলোয়াড়কেই যখন দেখলাম যে শৃঙ্খলা সিকিউরিটি দিতে অসুবিধা কারণেই তো তাকে বাদ দেওয়া হচ্ছে, তখন একটা দল একটা পুরো বাংলাদেশের জনগোষ্ঠী যারা খেলা দেখতে যাবে, এটা তো বিরাট ব্যাপার।
Okay, he is also talking about fans who would be traveling to watch the matches. That is also another issue. There was a pointed question that was asked to him saying that what if the ICC does not pay heed to your request? What is it that you're going to do? And that's where he quotes the hybrid model. He said, no, they have had hybrid models in the past. They've extended that courtesy to other teams. And we are hoping that they will do the same for us. He's made that also very clear. Yeah. More? Can we listen to some more things that he's saying?
He's switching it on from elsewhere. Okay.
No, we can hear. Yeah.
আমাদের স্কোপ আছে, যখন দেখলাম যে শৃঙ্খলা সিকিউরিটি দিতে অসুবিধা কারণেই তো তাকে বাদ দেওয়া হচ্ছে, তখন একটা দল একটা পুরো বাংলাদেশের জনগোষ্ঠী যারা খেলা দেখতে যাবে, এটা তো বিরাট ব্যাপার।
এটা ইমপ্যাক্ট কি ধরনের করতে পারে লং টার্ম, আপনি কি মনে করছেন?
লং টার্ম না, আমরা দেখেন আমাদের জাতীয় দল তৈরি করছি। আমরা আপনারা জানেন যে আমাদের টিম স্কোয়াড ঘোষণা করে দেওয়া হয়েছে। আমাদের কিন্তু এই বিপিএলটা অনুষ্ঠিত হচ্ছে, কিন্তু ওয়ান অফ দ্য রিজন যে T20 ফরম্যাটে আমাদের টিমটা যেন ইউজ টু হয়, সবকিছু আমাদের দিক থেকে আমরা প্রস্তুতি রাখছি। সো আমাদের এখানে কোনো ছাড় নেই।
যেমন ইতিমধ্যে আইসিসি জানিয়ে হচ্ছে যে আসলে শ্রীলঙ্কা হচ্ছে না, সেক্ষেত্রে আপনারা পরবর্তী সিদ্ধান্তটা আসলে আপনারা কি হতে পারে?
এই যে একটা প্রোপাগান্ডা চলছে যে আইসিসি আমাদেরকে জানিয়েছে শ্রীলঙ্কা খেলা সম্ভব না, এই ধরনের কোনো কথাই হয়নি আমাদের কারোর সাথে। আমি জানি না, এটা একটা প্রোপাগান্ডা আমি বলবো, ফলস নিউজ। কেননা এখনো আইসিসির সাথে আমাদের যোগাযোগ আছে একটা, আমরা তাদেরকে জানিয়েছি, তারা আমাদের থেকে জানতে চাইছে কি কি ইস্যু, তো আমরা এখন কি কি ইস্যু সেগুলো লিখে পাঠাবো। How important is security?
Okay, so he is also two things again. He said one, he was asked about, are you serious about playing the T20 World Cup? He said, of course we are. That's the reason we've announced a squad. That's the reason we are having the Bangladesh Premier League, which is in the T20 format, because we are gearing up for the T20 World Cup. So we as a country are committed to play, but we're not ready to play in India. Then he was asked, there are media reports that have said that ICC has told you and given you an ultimatum that play here or not. He called it propaganda.
And
he
fake
called it
news.
fake news. He said no such things have been told to us. Nothing. As I was explaining, from what I believe, ICC wrote to them saying that, listen, let's find a common ground. We'll provide you as much security as you want. Please, this is, too close to the tournament and we'll find it tough to, change venues. So can you, on our assurance, come and play? Because remember, ICC is not India. ICC is a neutral body. You said you may have issues with India and Indian security, but take our word for it. We are giving you our word that your players will be safe. Please come and play. That's a request that they made, which now, based on the government that they've spoken to, they're saying, no, we're not moving. We are not. And he explains, the president explains, it's not just about the security of the players. There are fans, he's saying, who might travel. There are sponsors from that country that will travel, officials that will travel, and they're not convinced. And then goes on to add, it's not just about security, it is also about our national pride, and we don't want to be humiliated by going there. So those things put together, they're not stepping back. Pretty much in line with what we had told you at the start of the program. This is, of course, the Bangladesh Cricket Board chairman speaking to the media. Yeah, so as I said, it could reach
Boiling points.
yeah.
Things are getting ugly.
This is Aminul Islam Bulbul. Isn't he a former player?
Yes.
Yeah, of course I remember. Former Bangladesh player. That's what. He's greyed a bit.
A fair bit.
Yeah. So that's that on the matter. I told you, you've reached a boiling point. I
And
don't
see, that's
think
what was
there's
bound
any
to happen
stepping
with
back.
government stepping in, right?
Yeah.
I think if it were a BCB thing, they might have tried to find a middle ground.
Yeah.
But this isn't the BCB, the ICC are negotiating with. It's the Bangladesh government. And that is where things get really tricky. Because they would be playing this game or be able to play this game far better than you. These are politicians.
Yeah.
And if you're going to have this thing with politicians, that is just simple. You're not going to find them backing down like that.
Yeah.
Okay, let's take a few questions.
Our Sandeep says, Nikhil, the problem is we allowed Save Gaza and Black Lives Matter in cricket. Huh? Asia Cup was not a fiasco. There was war-like situation in between. It is about time. But then if you had so much of a problem with the Asia Cup, why did you play? Is my point. If you were talking about that war-like situation, and I always used to say this, I remember you can go back in time and check what I said. I said, I find it uncomfortable that we're even playing to begin with. Then you shouldn't play. Then don't make it a case of, oh, we'll play, but we'll not do this and we'll not do that. Then don't play. Save Gaza, by the way, has not been allowed in cricket. Any player who has been sporting anything pro-Palestine has been fined. I don't think the issue here is that you've allowed politics into cricket, my friend. It's a whole different issue altogether.
You want to take this one right now? Maybe we can come to this one later after we're done dealing
Yeah,
with
let's
the
take a
topic
few
at hand.
questions. Yeah.
Let's take Priyanshu's.
Priyanshu says that cricket has become a joke. I think England should also not be allowed to play in India. Just think of our freedom fighters' sentiments. And actually, Britishers created all this nonsense of Pakistan and Bangladesh. Man makes a point.
Trivializing the whole thing, Priyanshu. But we get the humor.
Man makes a good point. Let's see. Dev Pratap Singh Chauhan. He says that, Nikhil bhai, I have one very pragmatic solution. Just swap Bangladesh and Zimbabwe in different groups. Zimbabwe's group matches are all taking place in Sri Lanka. It's the most easy option. Please propose this option.
Interesting one. You know, in all of this, at some point you will have to, I don't know how the ICC then communicates with the other teams, but what about the teams that were supposed to play Bangladesh then? Listen, yes, you're trying to be accommodative, you went the tournament to go forward, but teams have been preparing for India and teams have been preparing for the venues where they will be playing. Now, all of this just becomes a very good khichdi.
Yeah, it's a full-on khichdi. That is true. That is true. You've got Sarat Chandra asking that Nikhil says India hosting Olympics, which puts us in this position for past few years. I think things would have been different. But how? I don't know how the two things are related, truth be told. Because we are still having our way, despite the fact that we are trying to host the Olympics. So, not too sure about that.
Also, such events are tout if they bode well for India. If you are going to isolate a few nations, that it reflects very poorly on your bid then.
It does. That's the thing. That is the reason given to us when we were asking why is it that India were playing the Asia Cup. Because you said you wanted to not spoil your chances. But I mean, is it already not creating a bad impression on the sporting world? That, 1 month prior to a major tournament and the biggest thing that people are talking about is political drama. Not a very good thing. A very good thing. Abhishek Ranjan says that if the ICC accepts Bangladesh's request and gives them the matches in Sri Lanka, then will a narrative spread in the world that by putting a little pressure on the BCCI, you can get things done your way? But Abhishek, that has been the narrative, not just for BCCI, but BCCI essentially told ICC that we won't travel to Pakistan, give us a hybrid model. ICC said yes. After that, Pakistan said we will not travel to India for any ICC tournament, give us hybrid model. We said yes. So the narrative has already spread. Putting pressure on the BCCI is irrelevant. Tomorrow, if there are some issues between England and Australia, just as an example, they can also say we won't travel to each other. And the ICC will have no choice but to acquiesce because you've given 3 nations before it, 2 potentially.
All of this, by the way, we're forgetting one thing, and I'm pretty sure at some point this will also be up for debate. Bangladesh have gone ahead and confirmed that there's an India tour happening later this year.
I don't know if that's even going to go forward.
There's Australia traveling, there's India traveling. As far as Bangladesh is concerned, they've put it out.
Yeah, and don't forget the reason that tour has happened is because last year it was postponed. 2025, there was supposed to be a white ball tour, got postponed due to diplomatic tensions. They have now confirmed that it is going to happen, but will it? Is it going to get postponed again? That's the real thing. M Zone with an interesting question. Why is the ICC afraid to ban the Bangladeshi board?
Yeah, it's a full member nation.
Can they afford to do that?
You can't really do that like that. And what wrong have they done? If this goes against the spirit of the game in any way, if they're flouting the rules, if there's something illegal happening, if they're not in accordance with the ICC charter, then I believe that there is reason to, and then this can be put to vote.
Yeah. And the only way that happens is if they actually don't travel for the T20 World Cup. Then perhaps you can move a motion for it. It can't just be like that ICC decides, BCB, you're stepping too out of line.
See, for the health of cricket as a sport, it won't be good because there's anyway a handful of nations that you have who play cricket properly. You're trying to be inclusive, you're trying to bring the associates as well, but there's daylight between what the associates can play, like no disrespect to the USA.
But it's true.
And some of the other nations showing promise, but they may not be still offering what if Bangladesh, after being inducted in 2000, that they've been able to offer.
Absolutely. It was almost super chat, no? I think we had not taken
A little off topic, it was, maybe we can take it now.
Naval Singh, yes. Off topic, you think Rocco would have extended their test careers had India won the 2023 ODI World Cup and retired from ODI cricket immediately like 2024 T20 World Cup? I'm not sure.
No.
I don't think they would have retired from ODI cricket after winning the 2023 World Cup.
No, I think they would have wanted to get done with the Champions Trophy maybe and then have called it quits. Maybe.
Maybe or maybe not. Why would Virat want to call it quits?
Not in his best format,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
It's the same for Rohit, really.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Not in the easiest format.
Yeah.
Not in their easiest format, probably not. Let's see. Freaking Awesome says that if England will play against India in the final, it'll be a tough contest because England is the only team that has beaten India in Ahmedabad not once but twice. They love to play there, but different formats.
Yes.
Right? Test cricket.
He's talking about one test.
Yeah, I remember that test.
Yeah, we all do.
We all remember that test. But very bold of you to assume that this England will make the final. Baz Ball has ruined their T20 as well.
Okay, let us take some questions. Yeah. Anshu Mishra, have you taken that?
No.
Nikhil sir, me and all my friends, and I think around 60% of Indians believe that Saurabh Dwivedi was owner of London Top. He only came to know yesterday when he had left. Yeah, of course, yeah.
He never owned it. He was the main face.
He's saying that that's what people thought.
There's also a huge misconception about the platform as well, which is, just sort of earth-shattering to people when they get to know about the identity of the platform, or its association with.
Oh, that it's part of our group.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's also.
It is part of our group.
Breaking news.
It is owned by the same group. So the owners of India Today also own London Top and Sports Today.
Yeah.
So it's the same way. I don't own Sports Today.
Yeah.
None of us do. We're all very much paid employees.
No equity.
No equity.
No equity. Siddharth says, guys, saw your discussion from yesterday. For me, who has worshipped Virat as a true fan since the early 2010s, I agree with every word Manjrekar said. Any day as a VK fan, I'd exchange Root's career for him. I agree.
Yeah.
I agree.
I agree too. Because Test cricket is Test cricket. Whatever I say.
I know people will say, oh, Root's done stat padding and this, that. But boss, those numbers can't be ignored.
Exactly.
You cannot ignore those numbers. Ronaldo stat pads by scoring goals with his butt. Do we discount those? No, we don't. They're still goals. They're still goals. That's the
and
thing.
other parts that we can't mention.
Yeah. Puspavati says, Nikhil sir, we used to not worry about Bangladesh as they won't go to the second round and they should travel to Bangladesh tour in October and play their card. Are we looking too much on these? I mean, that goes back to the point that I was trying to make in a rather tongue-in-cheek manner. But the fact is that for the ICC, whether it be India, Bangladesh, UAE, USA, Canada, Oman, whoever, if you are playing a World Cup, then you are equal members who are playing that World Cup. We know that cricket has that weird division that you have the full members and the associates, but from the perspective of a T20 World Cup, each team is important. And I don't think they'd want to lose a Bangladesh just because. Even if they won't make it to the next round, which is entirely likely.
Let's be honest, they're a very, very competitive team. They've pushed India to the brink many a times.
That is true.
Yeah, you'll remember 2016, the Haas, Adelaide, so many matches.
Pramod Rizal says that BCCI made a mistake. They should have taken action on Mustafizur after the T20 World Cup. A little bit of patience is needed sometimes. Everything would have been fine. He's from Nepal and believes that Nepal will beat Bangladesh.
But, how all of this played out, there was pressure on the BCCI.
And
Simple as that.
it started here.
With what's been happening, it's been closely monitored. Global news agencies also covering it. It's not like that issue is only burning in India. I think the public sentiment has been, rather, I won't say it's died down. The public sentiment is indeed very intense on it.
Exactly. Your friend also has a comment.
Chandresh Narayan says, will we boycott Jason Holder for his comments on India-Pakistan? What has he said?
What did he say? I think this is an old thing.
If Chandresh is saying, we will have to listen to what has Jason Holder said. I have it.
Okay.
What did he say?
honestly, I don't like this whole India-Pakistan beef. You know, I'm seeing this India-Pakistan beef, which goes and stems way beyond the cricket field. It's just sad. Because like there are two powerhouses in world cricket, and to see how things have transpired, like I saw India win the Asia Cup and it didn't go up and accept the trophy, and I just think it's just too much, man. Like these things like shouldn't be in our game, man, especially if we are ambassadors for the world, and if we're talking about world peace and you know, just making the world a better place, then that's not what you want to see from your idols and your inspirers. Like if you're inspiring a generation, you're inspiring a world, then we've got to find a way to come together. And I could understand it being a massive thing off the cricket field. And don't get me wrong, I get it. It's a long
Yeah, so what he's saying is nothing unusual. He's saying that I don't want India, Pakistan to keep fighting. You know, I don't like. He's saying that, you know, he's basically talking about let's live in peace and things like that. That's what he's talking about. He's also saying things you should keep outside the cricket field if there are issues. Don't do it on the cricket field. I think he's making a reference to not going and collecting the trophy. And to that extent, a lot of people have said similar things in India and Pakistan too. So nothing unusual. So why should anyone boycott him? Please don't try and spread controversial things, Mr. Chandresh. Okay.
The last one.
Pushpavati. Nikhil sir, we used to not worry about...
No, we took that one.
Acha, okay. Australia has a big coming series. They will get exposed and their backup won't be effective in Indian conditions. They are struggling to find second opener.
Yeah, this might be a weaker Australia team that visits India than the one that did in 22-23. Yeah. I agree, because that team had much more sorted openers. Yeah. No disrespect to David Warner. But yeah, that team was definitely a lot stronger. This current Aussie team has been made to look much better by England's absolute inefficiency to play the basics of Test cricket.
There's an opener issue, there's a middle order issue, there's a number 3 issue.
Yeah.
Plenty of them.
So many issues.
Plenty of them.
And despite that, they've won, which tells you how bad fast bowlers are.
Yeah.
Exactly. And by the way, tomorrow the Test match, I think it'll be done 4-1 in favour of the Aussies. The series is done dusted. Yeah. Will heads roll is the real question.
I don't know who will be surprised with that scoreline.
No one. More questions?
Done, are we?
Done.
Okay then, on that note, bye-bye. You guys let us know what's going to happen in the comment section. We'll love to read that. I don't think we've heard the last of it. And I think ICC finds itself in a very sticky wicket. Very sticky wicket. Okay. Take
All
care.
right then. Good night.
Bye-bye.
Shabba khair. Nandri. Shubhratri. Eat your vegetables.
Don't trouble your mother and subscribe to Sports Today.
Is saying, Mr. Holder, Barbados is pretty close to Venezuela. Ajiba Garkat. We don't have the powers like Trump does, na?
I like the fact that he knows his geography.
Yeah, he does. It is close. You're right. You are right, Mr. Ajib.
Mr. Ajib.
Some dose of humor we needed. Take care. Bye-bye.